Hello and welcome to the first lecture of this new section on how to scale Agile HR across the organization. In this course, Agile HR. So in this section, we will help you learn how to scale Agile HR across the organization. And we will begin by talking in this lecture, after having done successful pilots, how to expand on the pilots. So, to scale Agile HR across the organization, you broadly need to do three things. First is to expand the successful pilots once you have pilot projects that have proven successful, and then you need to begin scaling them to other HR functions and departments. Do iterative scaling. Don't try and implement Agile HR all at once. Scale gradually, adjusting and iterating on processes based on feedback and lessons learned from early implementations. Embed agile principles in organization culture as the last step of scaling. Work towards embedding agile values and principles into company's culture. Encourage departments beyond HR to embrace agile ways of working. So the question is, how can you, expand successful pilots to other functions, other HR functions and departments? See, once your pilots for Agile HR have proven successful, you need to scale to others, as we are saying, and that involves a structured approach. What are the various steps that you can take? Let's start looking at one by one. The first one is to evaluate the pilot project outcomes, right? And there you conduct a thorough review of the pilot project, assessing both successes and areas of improvement. And to do that, you gather feedback from employees and managers and HR team involved in the pilot, and also use performance data and key performance indicators, KPIs, to evaluate the project success. So you look at from a holistic perspective. Uh, you could have done something like this, that after running the agile recruitment pilot for 3 months, you would have seen a 20% reduction in time to hire, and feedback from and you based on the feedback from hiring managers and candidate, you could see an improvement in the experience, and that's where you can start to uh, begin to expand the successful pilots that you have. Then you need to document the best practices. Develop uh, a playbook based on the lessons learned and best practices from the pilot projects. Document the steps, tools, and methods that worked well in the pilot, and include detailed guidance on how to replicate these across different HR functions. Ensure that the playbook is adaptable to different departments. Say, for example, for an agile playbook, you could outline how to run the iterative hiring sprints, collaborate with cross-functional teams, and gather feedback from candidates to continuously improve the processes. Then you customize for each HR function, because if you want to roll out to other HR functions, you need to do customization. Tailor the agile approach to different functions such as onboarding, performance management, and training. And there you work closely with the HR specialists in each function to adapt agile methodologies like sprints and retrospect to their specific needs. For example, sprints in performance management may focus on short-term goal setting and regular check-ins, whereas in onboarding and adaptation, you might use sprints on milestone-based training. So you could use a series of 2 week sprints in onboarding to guide new hires through their 90 days, and that will allow you to adjust the pace of learning based on individual progress. So that's how you can customize for each HR function. Then you get support from leadership to ensure resources and commitment for scaling agile HR across the organization. You present the data and feedback from the successful pilots to demonstrate how agile HR can enhance organizational performance. Outline a clear business case which for scaling the process across other HR functions and department. And this business case should highlight what are you getting, and your business could simply be one such paragraph which say by scaling agile HR, we aim to reduce inefficiencies in performance reviews, provide faster learning and development cycles, and boost employee engagement across all teams. So that can help you secure the executive buy-in. Then you build a network of agile champions across departments and, if required, across functions as you progress to lead the scaling effort. Engage managers and employees who were involved in the pilot projects to act as agile advocates in their respective departments and functions. And this team then can help introduce agile practices to other functions and provide on the ground support. And your change leadership to team then could include representatives from learning and development, payroll, and IT department, who will then help you introduce agile practices to these respective teams. Provide continuous training, offer ongoing agile training to HR teams and managers as you scale the practices. Develop tailored training programs, tailored specifically, that focus on agile methodologies and their application to that specific HR process or function. Encourage a mindset of experimentation, learning, and iterative improvement. And there, you and your HR management team can participate in a monthly agile training sessions to learn how to apply sprints, Kanban boards, and retrospective meetings to other various functions, HR functions. Start scaling incrementally. Don't go wholesale blockbuster in any one way. Begin by departments or functions that are most ready for agile HR and have they shown interest or early successes in adopting agile practices. Roll out the agile processes to a small number of departments first, allowing you to fine tune the scaling approach before a full scale company wide implementation is there. And there also apply agile methodologies to one function, one HR function at a time to ensure a smooth transition. So, slow and steady is the winning principle. And there you can expand the agile recruitment process to sales and engineering after first, where you will find them already, where you already seeing them strong interest in agile hiring practices. So start scaling increment. Establish key matrices for success and monitor progress regularly. Use KPIs such as time to complete, employee engagement scores, and feedback from managers to track the effectiveness of scaled agile processes. Adjust practices based on the data insights and stakeholder feedback. Nothing is sacrosanct. So you can always adjust your principles and practices. And there you would could be talking something like this, that we will monitor our key metrics with employee satisfaction, uh, uh, like employee satisfaction with the onboarding processes and time to hire across departments to ensure scale agile approach is delivering the expected results. So that's how you can monitor progress with agile metrics. Encourage feedback and transition, communicate regularly, uh, gather feedback from all stakeholders to refine and improve the scaled agile processes. It's a continuous process of gathering, refining, and improvement. Use agile practices like retrospectives, pulse surveys, and one to one feedback sessions to collect insights from employees and managers. Encourage experimentation and adaptation based on the real world scenarios. And there you could be talking and saying that we will hold quarterly retrospectives across departments to review what is working well in Agile HR and identify areas where we can make further improvements. Foster a culture of agility by creating a culture that embraces agile principles across the organization. Across the organization. Reinforce agile values such as collaboration, flexibility, and continuous improvement. Encourage employees at all levels to experiment, take ownership of their roles, and be proactive in contributing to process improvements. And with that, you could be building a culture where employees feel empowered to drive change and innovate within their roles. supported by agile HR practices that prioritize speed and adaptability. Recognize and celebrate successes, acknowledge and celebrate the successful scaling of agile HR processes by publicly recognizing teams and individuals, both who have contributed to successful adoption of agile practices in new HR functions. Celebrate key milestones and improvements in performance matrices. And there you could be celebrating the success of agile onboarding across multiple departments at your next town hall meetings, highlighting how it has led to faster integration of new hires and higher satisfaction score. Sustain momentum and embed agile in HR culture to continue to take benefit of that. Ensure that agile HR becomes a sustainable long-term practice across the organization. Embed agile principles into organization culture, ensuring that they are reflected in day-to-day work processes, decision making, and HR policies. Provide ongoing support and training to sustain the transformation. And to do that, to ensure long-term success, you will need to continue to support teams with regular agile training, and create a dedicated agile HR task force to monitor progress and drive ongoing improvements. So let's summarize. What all do we need to do to successfully expand successful pilots? Begin by evaluating pilot outcomes to understand successes and challenges, document the best practices, and create a scalable playbook. Customize agile practices to different HR functions. Secure executive buying in by presenting data and a clear business case, as we showed you. Expand the change leadership team to guide scaling effort. Provide continuous agile training to HR and other departments. Start scaling incrementally to ensure smooth transition. Monitor progress using agile metrics like time to hire, employee satisfaction, etc. Encourage feedback and iterations to refine processes as you scale. Foster a culture of agility across the organization. Celebrate milestones to gain momentum and sustain momentum and embed agile as part of organization's DNA. This methodical scaling process approach will ensure that agile HR is implemented thoughtfully and sustainably across all HR functions with continuous improvements based on data and feedback. So, having looked at how to expand successful pilots, what do we do next? We will now look at how to do that iterative scaling that we were talking about, right? So, thank you so much for watching this first lecture of on how to scale Agile HR across the organization in this course, Agile HR. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy. And I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.